Hey there, and welcome to this explainer. If you're tuning in, chances are you've just conquered a massive mountain of paperwork. You finally hit that submit button on your unemployment claim, and now you're waiting and waiting. Listen, we know that waiting for unemployment funds to come through can produce a massive amount of anxiety. Your bills certainly aren't hitting the pause button, so you need to know exactly where your benefits are in the pipeline. Today, we're going to dive deep into the source material provided by the Missouri Division of Employment Security to help you understand exactly how this whole system works. It is honestly the most relatable, pressing question every single claimant has right after they file. I filed for unemployment, but where's my money? You've done your part, but the silence from the other side can be absolutely deafening. You start wondering, did I miss a step? Did my previous employer contest the claim? Or did the computer system just swallow my application whole? To give you a little context here, the state of Missouri processes thousands of claims on a daily basis. That's a staggering volume. With those kinds of numbers, proactive tracking is your absolute best defense against delays. It is incredibly easy for just a tiny, minor paperwork error to stall your payments for weeks if you aren't paying close attention. You really can't afford to just sit back, cross your fingers, and hope for the best. Tracking your status is vital to make sure you don't fall through the cracks. So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll cover 1. Navigating the basics. 2. Setting up UInteract. 3. Locating your status. 4. Decoding the status codes. 5. Troubleshooting. And 6. Best practices. Let's kick things off with Section 1, Navigating Missouri Unemployment Basics. First up, we need to define the base period. This basically refers to the specific time frame of your past work history that the state uses to calculate your money. Specifically, it's the first 4 of the last 5 completed calendar quarters right before the Sunday you filed your claim. Now, you must have earned at least $2,250 from an insured employer during this window to even be eligible. This entire calculation is what dictates your weekly benefit amount, or WBA.
Next, let's talk about your benefit year. This is a 53-week period that starts on the Sunday right before you filed your initial claim. Think of this as your timeline. Once you are deemed eligible, Missouri's regular state program lets you draw your calculated benefits until this benefit year ends or until you've completely exhausted your maximum benefit amount, whichever happens first.
And that brings us to the infamous waiting week. Missouri actually requires a 1-week unpaid waiting period per claim year. It's the very first week of your active claim where you are completely eligible, but you will not be paid immediately. So please do not panic when you don't see funds for week 1. You still have to file your weekly certification for this week, and the compensation for it is usually held and then paid out as the very last payment on your regular claim.
All right, moving right along to Section 2, Setting up UInteract Access. First things first, you need to make absolutely sure you are at the official uinteract.labor.mo.gov website. There are plenty of unofficial lookalike sites floating around out there, so double-check that exact URL. We want to ensure your highly sensitive data remains perfectly secure. Let's walk through setting up your account for the very first time. Step 1, go to uinteract.labor.mo.gov. Step 2, right there on the login screen, click New Account Registration and select that you want to file an unemployment claim or view your information. Step 3, you're going to enter your social security number, your legal name, and your date of birth. And a quick heads up, this must perfectly match the state's division records. Step 4, you'll create your user ID, your password, and pick out your security questions. I highly recommend grabbing a pen for this next part because the security rules here are incredibly strict, and you really don't want to get locked out on your first try. Your user ID must be between 11 and 30 characters long and has to start with a letter. Your password? It's got to be 8 to 30 characters long, case sensitive, and it absolutely must contain at least 3 of the following 4 types: an uppercase letter, a lowercase letter, a number, or a special character. Keep this info safely stored somewhere. Okay, on to Section 3, Locating your claim status. To make things quite a bit easier for you, the Division of Employment Security launched a really fantastic feature within UInteract called the Claims Tracker. It pops up right on your homepage the second you log in. Think of it kind of like those intuitive package trackers you use for your online shopping, but this one is tracking your essential financial benefits. It gives you a quick visual timeline showing exactly where your claim currently sits in their administrative process. Which leads us perfectly into Section 4, Decoding Claim Status Codes. Let's break down what these statuses actually mean. If your status says waiting week, like we discussed earlier, that's your first eligible unpaid week. Just be sure you still file your weekly certification.
If it says pending issue, an active investigation is underway regarding your eligibility. Payments are withheld during this time, and resolving it usually takes an average of 4 to 6 weeks. Suspended means your claim is paused due to incomplete wage information. This happens a lot if the state needs to verify out-of-state wages, military records, or federal employment. Now, here are a few statuses that require your immediate action. Pending in person means your payments are withheld because you haven't completed a mandatory in-person requirement. You've got to report to a local Missouri job center as scheduled. Partial claim means you are working reduced hours and getting a prorated benefit, so you absolutely must report all of your weekly gross earnings. And finally, if your status is denied, it means you've been disqualified based on regulations. But don't give up. If you disagree with this, you have a strict 30-day statutory window to file an administrative appeal.
Let's look at Section 5, Troubleshooting Delays and Issues.
We know it is incredibly frustrating to be locked out when you desperately need to file your weekly request, or to see your claim stalled for weeks with 0 updates. If you find yourself staring at an error message or a totally frozen status bar, take a deep breath. Validation and, more importantly, help are on the way. Consider this your lifeline. If you have specific claims questions or problems, you'll need to call the Regional Claims Center at 800-320-2519 between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. If you just need to do some quick weekly filing without logging in, go ahead and use the virtual agent chatbot on the UInteract site. And this is crucial. If you forget your answers to your security questions and are totally locked out of your account, the absolute best method is to email esuiclaims@labor.mo.gov. You must include your full name, your phone number, and the last 4 digits of your social security number to get that reset. And finally, Section 6, Best Practices and a quick disclaimer. To keep your claims process running smoothly, you need to file a weekly request for payment every single week, ideally starting right on Sunday. You must report all gross wages you earn that week, even if you literally haven't been paid for them yet. Here's a huge requirement to remember. You must make 3 job contacts on separate days each week and record them. Failure to make those 3 job contacts can result in an immediate denial of your benefits. Also, you have to visit jobs.mo.gov at least once a month. As a best practice, always keep a physical or digital record of all your interactions, contact dates, and confirmations in a dedicated folder just in case the division ever requests them. Before we wrap things up today, a quick professional note. This explainer is strictly for informational purposes, to help you understand the source material provided by the Missouri Department of Labor and Industrial Relations. It does not substitute for professional legal advice. You should always consult the official Missouri state resources or speak directly with a legal expert for personalized guidance regarding your specific unemployment case. So, what do you say? Are you ready to track your claim and secure your benefits? Armed with the knowledge of exactly how to navigate UInteract, decode your specific status, and troubleshoot any issues that pop up, you are no longer in the dark. You have absolute control over your unemployment journey. Log in, check that tracker, and make sure your weekly maintenance is absolutely flawless. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and stay focused out there.